All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Big waves to you. I want to tell you, we're going to have a really quick, grateful Tuesday, grateful moment. Okay. You know, one of the things over the last few weeks has really taught me is that Brent Palmer takes a lot for granted in life. You know, I take for granted walking. I take for granted being able to talk. I take for granted being able, there's so much you take for granted. And over the last few weeks, I've been, my lungs have been, I'm doing great. So don't worry about that. But my lungs have taken a little bit of a beating, and I've really struggled talking. And I'm like, man, I take so much for granted when that's taken away, things like that. So grateful today to be able to talk and feel better. So our word for today is destiny. Destiny. I hope I can do it justice. And again, keep the words coming to Miss Andrea. We love your words. We love going over your words. But destiny was brought to us. And if you look at it, the definition says the events that will necessarily happen to a particular person in the future. And immediately where I went when I was preparing for this word is my good friend, Tracy Turnberg. Now, I think Tracy's on, but he usually jumps on. But Tracy Turnberg, years ago, he wouldn't mind me saying this, but he was involved in a company that kind of disappeared, if you would. And I'm sure it was like excruciating pain for him at the time. But what it did is it took him to a place that was an even better opportunity. I mean, it's very rare that you can look at a person and go, man, his entire adult life, he's only had one career path. And I mean, that's really unique, but it's not because it hadn't come with curves and twists and that sort of thing. And so I think about destiny. I go, so many times we're on our road to destiny, or I'm on my road to destiny, even when I think I'm not on my road to destiny. Does that make sense? Like, I remember, like, I was in education and I'm like, this is my life. This is what I do. I will retire. Like I love doing what I do. I never knew that doing what I'm doing today in network marketing was in my destiny. And it's come with a lot of twists and turns. So the events that will necessarily happen to a particular person in the future. Tony Robbins said, it is your decision and not your conditions that determine your destiny. It's your decision. And I went to the Bible as well. And Proverbs 16:5 says, it is the Lord who directs your life. For each step you take is ordained by God to bring you closer to your destiny. And I'm thinking about all this and I go, why do you and I want to control our destiny? Why do we want to make the decisions and keep making the decisions and staying on the road and keep striving, not get to a place where we just settle or start surviving, right? Because there's something out there like ordained for us to do big things. What is it? So why do you want to keep controlling your own destiny? Number one, you get to chart your own destiny. Like, you get to make the decision. You're the captain. Like, is it okay to go, you know what? One day I will be worth $100 million. Just so everybody knows I'm not worth that today. Okay. Despite what you thought. No, I'm kidding. So one day I'll be worth $100 million and I'm going to do so much good works with that $100 million. Like I'm going to give back. I'm going to help. I'm going to do. And so I call that my Maserati. Like, that's my destiny. Like, that's where I'm going to be one day. Right. And I'm going to do it in a wide variety of things. Like, what's yours? It's okay. Money, people say money's the root to all evil. Not, well, I don't believe that. I believe it's what you do with it that really, makes that decision. And so, number two, you reap what you sow. We got a choice today. Like we could all sleep in if you're your own boss, like I'm privileged to be. I could sleep in. No one's going to come go, Brent, why are you sleeping till 10 o'clock? But you know what? If I'm going to go pursue my destiny, I don't know what that destiny is. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but I know if I'm getting up and I'm going to work hard and I'm going to compete with myself, that I'm on the road and I'm going to get there to that destiny at a quicker rate than just sleeping in and taking the day. Now, sometimes you got to sleep in, take the day, rest. Number three, no one can stop you from achieving your dreams. And that's the big one. I don't know if you were on the call, and Andrew, I'm sorry, I'll be quick. I don't know if you were on the call last night. I hope you were. But one of the things that was said on the call was no one will stop us from achieving greatness here. No one. And I think for me, when I read, no one can stop me from achieving my dream, nobody. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror and go, Jack, you're not going to stop me. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm not giving up. I'm not going to let you win. You can talk about me all you want to talk about me. You can dog me all you want to dog me. And it's just going to be fuel that drives my engine to go further and further for greatness, right? That's what it's about. No one can stop us. And last, your experience to joy because of self-determination. There's a great joy out there for us if we know that we're in control and we got the self-determination to keep fighting for greatness, to keep pursuing our dreams, keep pursuing our goals. And when things get tough, that's just the great challenge in life that says, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when things get tough? You going to pull the sheets over your head, or are you going to get up and say, heck no, I'm going to fight even harder? So, Andrea Rosser, it's all yours.
Well, that was powerful, Coach. And this, I say it every day. I'm like, ooh, this was a fun one. I guess I just really like words. Like, there's so many lessons out there that we can learn if you just take a minute to look in, just a little bit deeper into something that you don't normally think about. So the quote that I found that I loved was, the best years of your life are the ones in which you decide your problems are your own. You do not blame them on your mother, the ecology, or the president. You realize that you control your own destiny. And that's Albert Ellis. So, what can we do? What are some things? And I kind of looked at this a little, cattywampus. Like, I looked at it a little backwards, but what can we give up to gain control over our destiny, right? So it's kind of backwards, but what can we give up or let go of in order to gain that control of our destiny? So first of all, we can give up relying on other people's approval. And many of us might think we're past this. Like, remember when you were a teenager and you really worried about what you were going to wear to school? Like, is it, and I don't know if this is universal, maybe this was just me, but is it the brand that everybody else is wearing? Or is it if it's not the brand, is it at least the same kind of style? Are you going to fit in with the crowd, right? And that was all it all came down to. We wanted to make sure that our pack approved of us. But then as we get older, we might not worry necessarily as much about what we're wearing, but it still shows up. That approval from other people absolutely shows up. So when we can stop depending on other people's approval, we take back that personal autonomy. We say, I decide if I'm okay. Like, am I a decent person? Yes, I get to take control to decide whether or not I am. So when we let go of that dependency on everybody else, it empowers us to think about what we want for our life, right? What's important to us. And that helps us grow in confidence. When we realize that we'll do just fine on our own, then we're firmly in control, and we put ourselves in the position to choose who we want in our life, what we want in our life. And we have secure knowledge and knowing that we can create it. And, you know, my daughter was talking a little bit last night to her brother and kind of on a very similar topic. And I thought, oh, that's a life lesson from a 16-year-old. But she said, every day you should get up, go look in the mirror and say 5 things you like about yourself. And she's like, I started doing that. I feel so much better. And I like myself more because I go and I tell myself the things I like about myself. And I thought, wow, isn't that a way to get rid of other people's approval when we like what we see, right? Now, none of us are perfect. You know, we might not love everything that's in the mirror, but if we just come up with some things that we like, we can pull that back in. 2, we can give up unrealistic expectations. So do you hold yourself to a standard that's way up here? Like, we all should strive for more, right? We all want to be better. We want to do more in our life. But if our standards are completely unreachable, guess what? That doesn't make us stretch for them. It actually can make us shrink. Because if we say, oh, I can't build a business like Brent Palmer, so I'm not going to try. Or I can't grow a garden like Ann Wilson, so I'm not going to try, right? If I can't do it as well as them, I'm not going to do it. And that slows us down. So let go of those unrealistic expectations and just go do your best. Because if we're going to do well, we're going to fail, right? Like, we're going to fail at a million different things, but we just have to keep trucking and keep going. And then lastly, give up blaming yourself for the things that you've done wrong. There is not a human, Kay does rock. There's not a single human on this planet that hasn't made mistakes. Like, there was at one point, he walked the earth, but he's not here now, right? So like, there's no other perfect human. We all screw up. We screw up in small ways, we screw up in big ways. And all we can do is accept our mistakes, apologize as we need, and then move forward. So ask yourself, what can I learn from what I've done? What lesson can I take forward? And then just move on. So that's what I had this morning. This was a fun one. So thank you guys.
This was really, really good. Really good. Yeah. Thank you for the lesson, Andrea. And I was thinking about Hill Blue. Hill is a Coach's Corner participant. And I thought about, like, you know, Hill is doing so many things, him and Diane, on social media. And how freeing is that? And here's, so I've known Hill for a long time. He's from Alabama, very conservative. Okay. Grew up very conservative. Like, as I drew that out, understand how conservative. Okay. Conservative. And to see him on TikTok, like, just, and him and Diane just having fun, freeing themselves. Like, I'm like, how cool. And then we go to Orlando and Hill is like doing the electric slide out on the dance floor. And I'm like, go Hill, you know, because at the end of the day, isn't that what life's all about? Like, let's live and pursue our destiny. So thank you, Andrea, for that. And Hill, thanks for inspiring us all, you and Diane. So love you guys. Happy Tuesday to you. Go out and rock today. We'll see you back tomorrow. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Andrew.